Hello and welcome to another episode of The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 4, Episode 3, and we've stopped off a bit earlier than planned because, as you can see, for the second time in 4 years and at our second club, we've managed to pull off an FA Cup tie against my beloved Luton Town. In the FA Cup first round, we go to Kenilworth Road today. But before that, let's have a look at what's been happening since our last outing. We've had a decent run which sees us sitting in the playoffs in 6th place. We're at our ceiling, just like the last couple of years. We're floating around the bottom of that playoffs and just outside. We've finished 7th for the last 2 years, and it's pretty much proof that this club can't go any further. I have been actively seeking jobs, and I've actually been interviewed for a couple very recently. So if we have a look, I'm applying for everything in League 1 and 2, and then anything that comes up abroad that's 1.5, 2-star with professional clubs. So we've had an interview at Scunthorpe, who got relegated from League 1 last year and are now bottom of League 2. We've also had an interview at Gillingham, who we're actually the favourites for now, but none of the others we've managed to get an interview for yet. I think League 1's just a step too far for us at the moment. We had been offered interviews at a couple of professional conference clubs, but really at this stage we deserve a bigger move than that. I can see the Blackpool job's available, so I'll apply for that one as well, but 10th in League 1, I think that'll be a bit much for us. Let's have a look at what's happened since you were last with me. We've only played the 5 games as we're coming back a bit earlier than planned. So obviously you were with me for that double header where we battered Morecambe and then got battered at home by Dulwich Hamlet. But we then went to Boreham Wood and nicked a very respectable 2-2 draw. We were 2-0 up at half time and unfortunately couldn't hold on. There was something remarkable in this game which I have to show you. They had 2 penalties which they scored and 1 which they missed. The referee gave them 3 penalties, all within an hour of each other. 2 of them were noted as dubious in the post-match press conference, and 1 of them I had an absolute rant about, and the FA kept quiet, which basically means that they got the decision wrong. So we have every right to feel aggrieved after that one. But it was still a good result. We then played our 4th qualifying round in the FA Cup, and obviously I don't need to tell you that we got through because we're playing Luton today. Jordan Murphy getting on the score sheet again. Miraculously, we were given a penalty, so we managed to score one, and Connor Evans got a goal as well as we won 2-0. We then beat Stockport, who were newly promoted 3-1, who obviously we just finished our golden generation save within the last week or so. A younger Tracy and Newell all getting on the score sheet then, and you can see in the last 2 games George Newell's really come to the fore, with a home draw against York where he managed to score the goal for us early on, and then a 1-0 win at Guiseley, setting us into this tie nicely, with a 95th minute winner from George Newell. We also have a couple of new signings to choose from if we wish, and one that may be coming in soon. If we have a look at him quickly, he's just going to be called Xavier because I'm not having a go at the second name. He looks like a good young winger and could help us out, which would be fine. But the problem with our last 2 transfers is one of them, Jason Davis, was also a right winger, who's 2.5-star current ability and 4-star potential. He's a good young player. He's not great technically and he's not great mentally, but he is quick. And as we say at this level, pace can do a lot of things for us. We played against, I think, Eastleigh last year where Teddy Howe absolutely murdered us just for having the pace. So he will be a useful signing for us. You can see he's made a couple of appearances but not pulled up any trees at all yet. And if I go back down here, I hadn't noticed that in 2016 he made his senior debut and it was for Bognor Regis. What a small world it is indeed. Let's go back and look at the other signing, an experienced left back, because we needed a third one obviously. It's Joe Martin, who's 3-star current ability, 3-star potential, very good defensively and decent mentally, but he's starting to go physically. His pace is dropping, his stamina's dropping, and I'm not sure he'll be able to do much past this season. But let's see if any of them make the team for today's game. It's an exciting FA Cup tie. It does mean we're not going to be able to get to the 4th round like we did last year because this is a very difficult tie. Luton are clear favourites in their orange home shirt. Very much not sponsored by that Korean car company anymore. And let's have a look at the 11 we've picked today. We've brought Mitch Walker back in goal for the FA Cup in place of Scott Brown. We've got Pike, Parry, Casey and Senior along the back. Joe Martin has to make do with a place on the bench, as does Jason Davis, as Tracy plays on the right wing, with Coventry, Ashby and Tretcher in midfield, and Newell and a Younger up front. If you're wondering why Coventry's playing, Mitch Brundle, he's reached 5 yellow cards. It's a month later than last year, but he's got there and he's now got a game ban. Ryan Bird's still not hit any form. He scored 4 goals, but 2 of them were penalties, and his form's been absolutely atrocious, so he doesn't even make the squad now. Connor Evans is the sub-striker of choice at the moment, so let's get into it and see if we can pull off another FA Cup miracle, but I doubt it this year, to be honest. You can see Luton are playing a 4-4-2, but there's some names I recognise in there. Potts, Ray and Justin along the back are all there at the moment, and Elliot Lee's playing in League 1 and scoring almost every game at the moment. So this is going to be a very tricky tie for us. They've also got a couple of other players from Football League clubs that look quite good. We're just going to ask them to prove a point. I'm not expecting too much. I tell you, the one thing I am going to do actually is go to more disciplined, just to try and keep our shape with those two banks of four. If we could get a replay like we did at Bognor a few years ago, remarkably, that would be wonderful. But obviously with Bognor, they were in League 2 at the time, now they're in League 1 on here. And not only that, they're in the top 6 as well. But obviously we did play against MK Dons last year, who were third in League 1 at the time, the awful franchise that is, and we did manage to nick a win against them. But in every other tie we've played bigger league sides, we've always struggled, and particularly away from home in most of them. Tretcher's got the ball on the left though, as we have the first attack of the match. Crosses in, Ray heads away, but Ayunga knocks it down, but it's cleared away by Dan Potts. Elliot Lee's put it in for Marquez. Can he get it back in again? We're holding our shape nicely. Look at that two banks of four. Perfect across the back. But they're still finding room in there. But Tracy gets it away to Null. Null's running down the right. He's been challenged easily though. He's probably been a star player for since he's come in. He's got real quality and probably could play in League 2, which you wouldn't be able to say for most of our team. But now it's Luton bringing it forward again. Elliot Lee on the edge of the box has a shot, and Mitch Walker makes a fantastic save after Manny Parry missed the interception. He's already on a yellow card, and I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest. I don't know what Tretcher was doing there, as he completely misjudged the ball. But the highlight ends, and we're still hanging on fairly comfortably with 15 minutes gone. We're going to get Parry to ease off tackles. As you all know, we've got plenty of history for red cards in FA Cup ties. Coventry into Ayunga. He shoots. The keeper went down before he even hit it. And it's in the bottom corner from Ayunga, and we're 1-0 up. How on earth is this happening? We just seem to have something in the FA Cup. And Dover seem to have an affiliation with this competition under me. We got through to the first or second round in our first season here. We've played to the fourth round last season before a disappointing draw against Peterborough, and then we played against Luton this season in League 1 in the first round, and hopefully we can pull off a miracle here as well. But I may be speaking too soon, as they've got to the wing, put a cross in, and it's 1-1 already. That lead lasted less than 2 minutes, and John Marquez has made it 1-1. Can we hang on for a draw now? We've had our only shot of the match we've scored from, and Luton have been dominant other than that. And with half an hour gone, they're building yet another attack down the right-hand side. And they've looked really dangerous in midfield as they've dominated possession. We've kept our two banks full well, and Ashby wins it back. Null's getting in behind, but he's been challenged again. They just haven't got enough to make it stick up front. We really need to try and counter them in behind. We might do that in the second half if we keep getting dominated. Lee's put it in for Mark, because he's unmarked, but he's gone for a stupid volley and put it wide. I don't know why he just didn't bring that down and slide it in the corner. Mitch Walker with a goal kick, but it's come straight back at us. It's been headed away again, but Ojo's got it in behind Senior. The former Luton boy clears to Casey. And Casey turns back to the keeper. Oh, he almost sold him a bit short there. But it's brought down, and you can see Luton are just all over us here. Elliot Lee has the shot, and Walker holds well. But we're just constantly defending here. We've got two banks of four lined up, and you can see our midfield line's basically on the edge of the box there. We're really struggling to get out, and the ball's not sticking up front. Maybe it was the sort of game that Ryan Bird could have done with a Senior hoofs it away. But it's straight back again. We've headed away in a box. We're defended doggedly. We're working so hard. But we're just a standard below them at the moment. This is the sort of club I want to go to in terms of stature, in terms of ability, as it's cleared long again, but only to the Luton right back James Justin, who'll bring it forward again, and they're just all over us here. They're having possession for fun. They're up to 55% now, but in the last 5 minutes it will have been more than that. Elliot Lee skinned two men, crud it back. They've got two unmarked in the box, and Fred Onyedema scores. Mitch Walker couldn't do anything about that, and unfortunately we are behind now. With 10 minutes to go to half time, we have got an attack, but it's been given away. The ball's not sticking at all up front, and to be honest, Luton are very good value for their lead. They've missed another chance there, but they've had 9 shots now to our 1, and we might have to do something a bit drastic towards the end of the second half to get back into this. Here they go again. They've got the ball on the edge of the box. They're skinning us out wide, to be honest. Brown's got the header, and it's 3-1. That's tie over. We're going to take the disciplined off now because there's no point in the way we're playing. We've lost 2 balls in the box where we've left men unmarked, which is the most disappointing bit of it, to be honest. We want Marquez to be closed down, but it's a bit late, don't you think? And Mitch Walker's got the ball at the back, and can we build an attack? I got so optimistic when we took the lead. As a younger flicks on to Null, he's in one-on-one. Oh, he's missed a one-on-one, he's put it wide. You can't miss chances like that against higher league opposition. We're getting warnings to close down so many of their players now, which we will do. But they're coming forward again, and by the time we got back, they could have scored again. But Ojo in the middle here, up to Elliot Lee on the edge of the box, turns and shoots, but thankfully it's high and wide. But we've been absolutely outplayed, and Luton look a very good side. As a Luton supporter, had this been real life, I'd be very excited to watch this. But unfortunately, as the Dover manager, this is something that I have to be a little bit concerned about. The one thing I am worried about is obviously when we played a replay with Bognor against them a couple of years ago, we lost 6-1 and it shot our confidence for a couple of games. If we can avoid that this time, then that would be great. We're going to tell them they were disappointed. I'm going to ignore the assistant manager for once because the performance, we can do better than that. I'm also going to switch to counter-attacking now just to see if we can take advantage of them on the break. I tell you what I might do actually. I'll see if we've got all of our direct passing on. Pump it into the box we have. We're going to run at the defence as well, see what that does. We've got quick players out wide now. Tretcher's got the ball in left. Long ball in for Newell. In you go, son. He's got to finish this time. He's saved again. And I'll tell you what, we'll take the run at defence off because that was working. I don't know if that actually went on in the end or not. It did, so we'll take that back off. We don't want to run at them. We just want to knock it in behind and see if we can get on the end. George Newell's had an awful game, so I'm going to take him off in a few minutes. He's missed 2 sitters and it should be 3-all really. Tracy's got the ball into Ashby. Younger now shoots this through Oxley. What awful goalkeeping. And Jonah Younger has given us a chance in this tie. He's been absolutely fantastic for us all season and all of last season. We've got our warning to close Elliot Lee down, which we'll do. And we're going to take George Newell off and try and change this game now. Connor Evans is on the bench. He's best at the advanced forward role. Younger's better at the target man, so we'll keep him as that way round for now. We'll replace Tracy with Davis and see if his pace on the right can cause trouble. And we'll take Casey off for Boateng as Casey's had an absolutely shocking game. We've got to close down on Yadima. We keep getting these warnings after players have scored and got assists. If our assistant manager couldn't have worked it out before the game, we might have been in a good position. But we've got another attack now with Senior. Ashby to Coventry. Tries to have a shot and it wasn't that far wide to be fair. And an hour gone, we are starting to look dangerous again, but they have got a corner. We've been really poor from set pieces in this game. They've shot from 30 yards, but it's deflected off their own man and out for a goal kick. Again, just like other years, we've been proud of the performance. They've just scored a fantastic free kick. Ojo scored it. He's looked a class player all game. And I tell you what, if we end up in a football league, we'd want to sign him. Let's go and have a quick look at him. He's been first choice in League One all season, so we can't complain. Look at the quality. Absolutely out of our league. What a player he is. And I tell you what, as a Luton fan, I'd be delighted to see him there. And we've now got the warning to close him down. The difference is you can't do that from a free kick, so the 10 yards wouldn't have made any difference there. Glendon gets it to Onyedema on the edge of the box, into Ojo, who nearly scores again, as he's gone just wide of the post. But I've got to be honest, I'm really proud of this performance and the way that we keep overachieving at this club. To be in the top 7 yet again at the moment this season, to have got to the FA Cup and played so well against a team in a higher league. We're really performing above expectations. I really do hope we can get one of these League 2 jobs just so we can start to build a professional club and take them up the leagues. We want to progress as the head coach. Obviously, we've only got a couple of months until Football Manager 19 comes out. Going a year behind there. The beta will be out in the end of October. We'll have our save starting then for this Save the Head Coach and for part of the furniture, which will announce our club in the next couple of weeks. So we really want to get this pushing along now. We need to get into the Football League. My aim before this is to try and win a top level trophy at some division, whether it be an FA Cup, a League Cup, a Super Cup in another country or one of the league titles. But we just want to try and do that in the next, what will be about 6 weeks or so maybe, just to see if we can get ourselves a trophy and succeed. And then in our full 12 months next season, we'll hopefully do well. Ben Gladwin scored. It's 5-2 now and it's starting to put a tint on the game that really hasn't matched the performance. We've probably deserved to be within 2 goals of them. But as I say, once FM19 comes out, we'll have this head coach series 3 days a week from FM19, as well as our part of the furniture one, and hopefully we'll have plenty of time to get both of them towards the top. But in the meantime with this one, we really want to hope that we can get a bigger move. Even if we can go and win sort of a checker trade trophy or something like that. As Elliot Lee gets in and beats Mitch Walker to it, it's starting to get an embarrassing score to it now. You see it so often in the FA Cup where the semi-pro team just runs out of legs after an hour or so and the professional team starts to take advantage. It's been so unfair on us, but look at the fitness. We're all in the low 60s. This is why we need to be at a professional club. It's the big difference. Ashby gets it on the edge, has a shot, but it's gone wide. Oh, it's been really disappointing to see the result at the end. We have fought hard. I do think, genuinely, I've said it a few times, I think this will be the last episode with Dover. But we've lost 6-2 to Luton Town. The effort was excellent. We can't complain about the way they've played. But we have to accept that we're not going to get our big money rounds up to the 4th like we did last season. Providing no shocks, that's fair enough. We haven't done too much, really. But there's no way we deserve to lose that game by 4. If we go and have a quick look at the schedule, should we still be at Dover, we will come back as planned around that Tranmere game. So maybe Tranmere Fylde, somewhere like that. but hopefully we'll be back sooner as we get a new club and a new offer from the Football League at a professional team. But that will be all from this episode. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video. You can subscribe to the channel for regular content from this head coach series every Monday to Thursday at 4:30 PM, as well as our FIFA 19 videos, which will be starting on Friday every week on a Friday at 4:30 like the rest, until the release of Football Manager 19, where we'll have 2 exciting saves to look forward to. A massive thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time.